Ha ha. I have a minute. So I got quite a bit of privacy here, so you can probably hear my voice a little bit better, even though there's big industrial trucks running around. So, DIY MFA Part 4, Detangling Faults of the Rider. Uh, Voice of criticism is literally your mama or whoever. Okay, not that though. Anxiety is based on language formed thoughts. Thoughts. They are tangled up from listening to bad music. And we detangled them much the same way we remove juxtaposed objects in art. Okay, so we have to kind of deal with writer's block occasionally. Occasionally, we need to deal with writing anxiety, fear, things like that. So we just have a minute or a moment together where you probably hear an insect in the background, cars in the distance. I happen to see the color green, different shades of green, tree leaves, architecture, things like that. Anxiety is rarely an abstract, formless fog. As you noted, it is structured like language. It has syntax, rhythm, and a voice, maybe even somebody else's voice. But the secret of the inner critic is that it is almost never your own voice. It is a bad cover song. It is an internalized playlist of authority figures, parents, or past doubters played on loop. When those external voices get tangled up with your own creative frequency, the signal gets muddy. To clean up the mix, we have to treat the mind like an art canvas or a recording studio, externalizing the playback, the yo mama principle. The moment you realize the critical voice in your head doesn't belong to you, its power collapses. Identify the speaker. When a thought says, "This is garbage, why are you even writing this?" Well, that's because you hate them, and you're fucking predicting their movements, and you know they're going to come in the room and say that. Pause and analyze the audio profile. Is that actually your voice? Mm-mm. Or is it a parent, a bad teacher, or an old rival? Old roommate? Turn down the fader. By labeling the voice as an external interloper, you stop treating it as an objective truth and start treating it as a background noise. Sometimes you gotta punch someone in the face too. I mean, you gotta fight. Everyone's an asshole until they get punched in the face. It's just bad music playing from a passing car. The language of anxiety. Because anxiety is built of language, it obeys the rules of grammar. It thrives on absolute terms, always, never ruined. If you can edit a sentence on a page, you can edit the syntax of an ancient thought. So in my MFA equivalent, which is not really a master's degree, it's an MFA equivalent, we can do that. We can take, if you have writer's block, we're going to get something on the page. You'll just copy me. Watch this. I want you. What is that? What is that? It is not the same thing as wanting something. It's not the same thing as entitlement. That phrase is not the same as entitlement. It's wanting someone, not something for nothing. Your mate is a gift. See that? And in order for you to overcome writer's block, you're going to type that same exact thing. I want you. Then you have something on the page, and you got a little romance side story going on. That is a profound distinction. Entitlement is inherently transactional. It demands a return and operates on the assumption that something is owed. Now, imagine you were running track and field in high school. Your mama was critical and told you to never stop. She tried to instill resilience rather than self-care. So now you are going to stop and get the rock out of your shoe whenever you need. Look at this. We've got kind of a story idea is starting to happen, like a little sports story idea. The girl that did not finish the race, the myth of the unstoppable runner. Look at this title. The girl that fucking stopped the race. The girl that stopped the race. The girl that stopped the race. Dang, and it's gonna go ahead and do it. Step, a sharp spark up the Achilles. Step, the automatic subconscious tilt of her hip to compensate. Don't dare you slow down, the bleachers scream. Push through it. Keep your knees up. There's all kind of stuff. So what about that story nugget? What it contains the idea. She stops the whole race to help others with running injuries and overheating. But what was it? There's the idea. It's not synopsis. There's idea. There was something else like synopsis. It's like a seed. Story seed. I won't run. I'll fight instead. Yeah. Story nugget idea. She stops the whole race to help others with running injuries and overheating. Something else like somebody. It was a seed. I won't run. I'll fight instead. The girl that stopped the race. The seed. I won't run. I'll fight instead. So it's going to go ahead and do a synopsis on the track. Fighting usually means pushing through the pain to beat the person in front of you. But for her, the real fight is against the machine of the race itself. The unyielding institutional pressure that treats young runners like fuel to be burned. When she steps off the track to pull the stone from her shoe, okay, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Then what? She joins the fucking wrestling team. The mat, the circle, and the heavy hands. There's all kinds of good stuff. Like what happens? The girl stood between the furious authorities and the injured athletes she had gathered around her. She wasn't running anymore. She was holding the line. The coaches and officials expected her to go to the principal's office. They expected a tearful apology, or at least a quiet withdrawal into the background where difficult girls are supposed to go when they refuse to cooperate with the program. Instead, she walked right past the track gate, down into the concrete belly of the field house, and kicked open the double doors to the wrestling room. The room smelled different. It wasn't the open air, sun-baked tar of the track where you could run away from your problems in a straight line. It smelled like bleach, old leather, and heavy canvas. So this is not even prose. This is not even prose. This is just getting a big story going. So like, keep Mama, the antagonist. That's kind of like the movie High Quality H2O with Adam Sandler in it. Until she, and that's the cool thing about writing, creative writing, is that you don't have to finish the writing. You don't have to finish the writing when it's too similar to another work. You can play with it if you want to, but stop. You don't have to write the novel until you have something truly unique. Okay, wrestling shows her that sports can be learned. You actually learn wrestling. You are a machine. Your anatomy is mechanical. Golly. And it's a whole shift in perspective. Dude, we got a whole thing going on here. With that shift in perspective, the old anxiety lost its grammar. And dude, from the perspective shift, she defeats the antagonist with her words alone. A kitchen table tournament. The final dual meet of the season. This is a short story. Dude, did we just write a short story? We absolutely did. Didn't even have to read it, because this AI, I'm telling you, Gemini is really nice on productivity. Step by step, we took the raw philosophy from your DIY MFA concept, the language-based anxiety, the bad music of external critics, the Yo Mama principle, and gave it boots, a track, a wrestling mat, and a resolution. And it's bad. It's so bad. It's so bad that this is also an art by sitting down to blank paper. It's a shame. That's it. It's a shame. Shame on you. It's a shame that's the way we're taught to sit down in front of blank paper. And a lot of times in the creative writing courses that are available online or even in person, the instructor is going to say, just write something. Just write something and let's see what you got. Because they want to teach you empirical writing, right? They want to get you away from principles. But what do? There was a breeze. There's our fragment. There was a breeze. Downwind, where straggling track runners at least felt confident for a moment. That kind of ties back the whole stopping to get care thing, because when the breeze is moving downwind, you can fart. Maybe nobody will smell it. That is a beautiful, haunting image. It's that brief, deceptive pocket of air on the back says. And I'm gonna give this a title. Give this a new title. The Spirit of 98. Now look, it took that fragment and it's going to prose it up a little bit. There was always a breeze downwind on the backstretch, right around the second turn. For about 50 meters, the air would catch you from behind, pushing against your shoulder blades, lifting your chin. In that pocket, every struggling runner felt a brief, deceptive flash of confidence. Your stride felt long, your lungs felt clear, and you believed just for a moment that you were flying. That is a badass introduction to it. You could probably then go back by hand, and you're gonna have to. Okay. So next session, I'll revise this in prose. I'll revise this in structure and have you rewrite in narrative prose. Maybe even should it be third? We'll just do first person, like from her point of view, which would be, I think, extremely powerful short story. And then maybe get it to where pacing and broke down in the scenes and make them really powerful scenes. That's it. Do 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 do.